small Chinese company just did something that's actually about to change everything that you think or know about AI. And they built an AI model for $6 million that's currently outperforming ChatGPT right now. And it's a model that actually cost OpenAI over $200 billion to even develop to begin with. And if you think that this is just some crazy, boring tech story, understand you are absolutely wrong, because this is about to reshape every single industry, including yours. My name is Jalen Feliciano, and for the past few years, I've been tracking the AI revolution, helping thousands of people build businesses around these AI tools. But what happened a couple weeks ago with DeepSeek R1 isn't just another AI release. It's an absolute complete disruption of everything we thought was true about artificial intelligence. So buckle up, because by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why every major tech company is in full panic mode right now and what this actually means about your future. So let me start with a story that's going to blow your mind. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. All right. For the past 2 years, we've been told that the same narrative over and over and over and over again, right? Where, building cutting edge AI requires massive amounts of money, compute power, or massive amounts of data, right? OpenAI raised billions of freaking dollars, just so we're all on the same page. All right. Google spent billions, Meta spent billions, and the message was clear. If you want to compete in AI, you need Silicon Valley resources, right? Then on January 20th, 2025, a company called DeepSeek, a relatively small AI lab in China, they basically released something called DeepSeek R1. And here's what's absolutely insane about this. They spent $6 million. $6 million to build something that's not just competitive with ChatGPT 4 in many tests, but it's better in some ways. So while OpenAI has burned through over $200 billion developing their models, 200 billion with a B, all right, DeepSeek did it within the budget of a small startup. But here's the part that's keeping every AI CEO awake at night. They did it using odor restricted chips. And that's the biggest thing, because the kind of chips that I'm talking about is the ones that the US government specifically tried to keep out of Chinese hands. Like, they weren't even supposed to be able to do this, all right? And according to everything that we know about AI development, this shouldn't even have been possible. So let me break down exactly what DeepSeek accomplished, because the technical details matter for understanding why this is such an actual big deal, especially if you're actually trying to learn AI at a very high level. Now, the very first thing is performance. All right, because in benchmark tests, and I'm talking about the same tests that OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic use to measure their models, DeepSeek R1 is scoring at or above GPT-4 levels. So when we're talking about reasoning tasks, we're talking about coding challenges, we're talking about mathematical problems, right? In some areas, it's actually outperforming some of those actual models within, OpenAI, Claude, all of those models, right? And that costs thousands of time and thousands of money to actually develop, just so we're, again, all on the same page here. Now, the second thing is efficiency. So remember, they were, building this using H800 chips, which are basically older generation chips that were specifically designed to comply with the US export restrictions to China. So these chips are typically significantly less powerful than what OpenAI has access to. I guess the best way for me to really describe this to you is like, think about someone building a Ferrari with a Honda engine and somehow it's faster than a real Ferrari, right? That's how crazy this is, all right? The third is that this is the most crucial part for me, right? This is mind-blowing, is that they did it in 18 months. 18 freaking months, all right? And OpenAI has been working on GPT models for years with teams of hundreds of researchers, with hundreds of resources and, unlimited compute budgets. And understand, like, DeepSeek did it faster. They did it cheaper and arguably some would say better, all right? So I want you to just think about that for a quick second here, because here's where it gets even more interesting. See, the way that they train this model challenges everything that we know about AI development, because instead of just throwing more data and more compute all at the problem, what's called the scaling law approach that everyone in Silicon Valley has been following, DeepSeek focused on something what's called reasoning chains. And without getting too technical, because I really hate doing that, they essentially taught the AI to basically think through problems step by step the way a human would. And it turns out this approach is way more efficient than just making the models bigger and bigger and bigger, right? Now, if you're probably thinking, okay, Jalen, that's super cool, another AI tool, you've completely missed the point, and I would highly recommend that you actually go back and rerun this actual video. This isn't just about one company building a better chatbot, all right? This is about the complete disruption of how we think about technological development, competitive advantage, and honestly, the whole global power dynamics. So when we're talking about, what this means for the AI industry, Well, first, every major tech company has already justified their massive AI spending by saying you need to scale to compete, right? Google has been doing this for however long we knew Google, right? Microsoft, OpenAI has been doing this for a very freaking long time. And they've all been playing this game of who can raise more money, who can buy more chips, who can build bigger data centers. And DeepSeek just proved that you do not need any of those things. So what happens when small companies or even individual developers or a day-to-day person who understands technology at a, let's just say at a minimal level, can build frontier level AI models for the cost of a decent startup? Like what happens when the barriers, of entry completely disappears now? Think about that, right? Because here's what this means for you specifically. For the past year, I've been telling people that AI is the greatest opportunity of our lifetime, but most people have been waiting on the sidelines because they think that they need to be like Google. They think that they need to be like Claude. They think that they need to be like OpenAI. They think that they need to be like Higgsfield and all these other, AI companies. And DeepSeek has honestly just changed the game entirely. Because if a small team in China can build world-class AI for $6 million, imagine what becomes possible when these techniques become widely available. And we're talking about AI models that could literally run on your computer, AI that small businesses can actually afford to customize for their own specific needs, AI that doesn't require you to pay monthly subscriptions to other big companies, right? And here's the part that should get you excited, or I guess depending on which side you're on, right? You may get scared, but depending on how you look at it, we're about to see an explosion of AI innovation unlike anything we've ever seen before, unlike anything you've ever seen before. Because when the cost of building AI drops by 99%, when you don't need Silicon Valley resources to compete, when a small team can outform $1 billion company, that's when the entire industry gets disrupted overnight. So what does this mean specifically for you or for your business or for your career or for your future? Let me be really specific here because this isn't just theory that I'm just making up and just talking out of my butt here, all right? First, you've been waiting probably to get into AI because you thought you needed massive resources. And honestly, that excuse completely just disappeared and it wasn't even an excuse to begin with, all right? Like these tools and these techniques that DeepSeek use are going to become widely available. And we're probably about maybe 6 to maybe 12 months away from similar approaches being accessible to anyone with a decent computer and at least some technical actual knowledge. And then the second thing is, if you're in an industry that relies on information processing, content creation or analysis, which is most industries, right? Like you need to start thinking about how AI is going to change your competitive landscape. Because if DeepSeek can do this to OpenAI, imagine what's going to happen in your industry when similar AI becomes accessible to everyone. And the third thing is that, and I believe this is super crucial, is the geographic disruption of AI innovation. Like it has absolutely freaking changed tremendously because for the past few years, AI has been dominating by Silicon Valley companies with Silicon Valley resources. And DeepSeek, again, has already proved that innovation can come from anywhere with much smaller budgets. And we are about to see AI development explode globally. Now, here's my biggest takeaway and why I wanted to actually sit down and create this video for you guys is because we are living through the most important technological shift in human history. And what DeepSeek just proved is that this shift is happening faster than anyone expected. And the barriers to participation are extremely lower than anyone thought possible. Now, here's what I want you to do right now. If you're probably wondering, Jalen, why did you even have us watch this video? What do you want us to do? Listen. The first thing, if this video opened up your eyes to what's actually happening in AI, I need you guys to actually hit that subscribe button because I'm going to be covering every major development as it actually happens. And trust me, after DeepSeek, the developments are going to come fast and furious, and it's going to keep coming and keep coming and keep coming. And there's going to be so many new things that I'm going to be bringing up that you need to be a part of, that you need to understand and know. The second thing is I want you to comment below and tell me what industry are you in and how do you think this DeepSeek breakthrough is going to affect your field? Because I read every comment and I'm already planning to do follow-up videos based on the specific industries and use cases that you're most interested in. So I really need your feedback, all right? And the third thing is if you want to get ahead of this curve instead of getting left behind by AI, I've been helping people build AI-powered businesses for the past few years. And the strategies that worked when AI was expensive and exclusive are about to change completely, but the opportunities are literally about to explode because the AI revolution just shifted into a complete different gear. So I guess my question to you is, are you ready for what comes next? And if you are, go ahead and join my free school community, as you would see it in the description down below, so I can make sure to help keep you up to par and make sure that you're actually ready for AI.